Hey guys, it's Jessie V, and I know in yesterday's video you saw me wear pink, and I'm still wearing pink, and I know it's weird because my entire life I have hated pink, and nothing against anybody else who likes this color. I mean, everybody has their personal preferences, but whenever I saw pink as a kid, I tried to stay away from it a bit, but I don't know, growing up, I just feel like it's okay to wear some bright colors sometimes. And as weird as it is, since knowing Ty, and I know I've told you guys this before, but he loves bright colors and stuff. When he first met me, I just wore black just every single day, which is still alright, but I feel like he sort of encouraged me to like try some colors sometimes. It's not so bad once you do. So yeah. I'm a pink Jessie today, and I'm okay with it, alright? I'm a Pink Panther right now. Alright, so as usual, the other day I was scrolling through the interwebs, and I came across this really freaky story about a washing machine that really reminded me of something from my childhood. So I'm gonna tell you this freaky story that I found online first, and then we're gonna talk about what happened to me personally. And this story is, it's slightly cliche, a little bit cliche, but it also, I mean, it's still creepy, alright? So the title of this article is called Stay Away from Your Washing Machine, but I don't think that's what the story is called. I don't really know what the story's called, but I'm gonna read it to you today, okay? And then you'll find out. So it says, there was a teenage girl who was hired to babysit two young children. After the parents left, she put the children to bed and then went downstairs to watch TV. Suddenly, she heard a noise coming from the basement. It was the washing machine starting up. She was about to go and turn it off, but then she opened the basement door and the noise stopped. She shrugged her shoulders, she returned to the living room and resumed watching TV. Okay, let's just stop the story here for just 1 second. If I was babysitting some kids and all of a sudden the washing machine turned on in the basement, in the dark of the basement, and I know no one else in the house could have possibly turned it on, I don't know if I'd just shrug my shoulders and go sit back down. I'd be like, hey, what the heck? Like, it would definitely freak me out. I mean, even in this house, whenever anything like turns on suddenly or there's a big noise, I'm freaked out. I don't just shrug my shoulders. But let's continue anyways. 5 minutes later, she heard the washing machine starting up again. She got up, opened the basement door, and started walking down the steps. She had only gone down a few steps when the noise stopped again. So she went back up to watch TV. Guys, what is this girl doing? So she starts to walk downstairs to see what's going on, but when the noise stops, she just goes back upstairs. Why not just complete the trip down the stairs anyway to just see if everything's okay? I don't understand this girl. Some horror stories just really frustrate me, I'm sorry, but let's continue, okay? Let's see what happens. 5 minutes later, once again, she heard the washing machine turn on. Worried, she went upstairs, gathered the children, and ran over to the neighbor's house to call the police. They arrived a few minutes later and went down to search the basement. They found a man armed with an axe, hiding behind the washing machine. He had been trying to lure the babysitter down to the basement in order to kill her. Okay, so I mean, I guess it's kind of good she didn't continue going down the stairs. But what's weird for like the murderer side of things, if he was trying to lure her down the stairs and she was already halfway down, she was already almost in his arms, why would he turn the washing machine back off, you know? Like, why wouldn't he just continue it until she got to the washing machine? I mean, thank goodness he didn't, but from his mind, why wouldn't he? So I don't know, that's a freaky story. I mean, kind of cliche. I feel like I've heard stories like this growing up, but it reminded me of my friend's house. I think it was a friend that I had in elementary school, probably like grade 7 or 8, and she had a washing machine deep down in her basement. And it's always freaked me out when people have washing machines down there. Like, I know in my house, it's on the main floor, it's by the kitchen, so it's not freaky at all. At my parents' house, it was on the main floor, it was by the garage, it was great. Now, in the first house I ever moved into, our laundry machine was down in the basement, but I was so little that I never had to go down and do my laundry because I was like 5, so my mom did my laundry and I never had to worry about that laundry machine ever. But when I was in grade 7 or grade 8, I went to my friend's house a lot for sleepovers and stuff like that, and her basement was creepy. Like, I know I've talked about, I've done a few story times talking about friends who have had creepy basements. I mean, it's not unusual. Basements are creepy. But there was this one time that I was at her house and her mom walked into her room while her and I were on the computer or something, and her mom was like, yo, Sarah, you gotta do your laundry. That wasn't her actual name, but we're just gonna cover it up for now. And I mean, Sarah had a giant laundry pile in her room. Like, the corner of her bedroom was literally a mountain of clothes. And the reason why it became a mountain like every few weeks was because she tried her best not to do her laundry if she didn't have to, you know what I mean? Because going down into her basement was always a stress for her. So while I was over, she was like, Jess, since you're here with me today, do you want to go down the stairs with me and do my laundry with me? Because, you know, it was better for her to have someone go down with her so she wasn't alone. And at this point, I didn't know how scary her basement was, so I was like, yeah, for sure, for sure. So we got to the top of her basement steps, and I remember her turning on the light, and it wasn't one of those lights like on the side of the wall. It was one of those lights that you have the string and you have to like pull it down for the light to turn on. So she does that and it just starts flickering, and she's like, oh yeah, this light never really works. It just like flickers. It just flickers and like turns off sometimes when I'm down there. It's really scary. And I'm like, are you seriously taking me down here right now? So we go down into her basement and it's so freaky. It's unfinished, which, you know, I've had unfinished basements my entire life basically. This house I'm in right now is the first house that actually has a finished basement, so it's quite wonderful. Even though there's no furniture down there because I don't have the money to, you know, fill up my entire house with furniture. Ugh. So we went into her basement and the floor was gray and cracking and it was dark, and she had all these like laundry lines up with clothes hanging from it, so like the clothes were blocking the view of part of the basement. It was really eerie, and especially if like you're turned around, you see something from the side of your eye but it's actually just like clothes hanging. I don't know how she did it. I don't know. But anyways, we did her laundry, we went back upstairs, and everything was good. So now I had a feeling of what her basement was like, and I didn't want to ever go down there ever again. Now, what happened was, one day she called me after school because she wanted to go over some homework that we had. I can't remember what it was. It definitely wasn't math because I was terrible at math. Could have been history maybe, but she called me because she didn't understand one of our projects. So we're talking on the phone and she goes, hold on, can I keep you on the phone? I have to go down into the basement to do my laundry. So I was like, yeah, go for it. And like, I like low-key felt really bad for her because I would never want to do that. So she's down there, I could hear her like opening the washing machine and stuff. We're talking on the phone, and suddenly out of the blue, I will never forget this, she screams bloody murder. Like, she screams, I can feel the phone drop on the floor and I could hear her footsteps just going up the stairs. So I was like, Sarah? Hello, Sarah. I was like calling her name for a few minutes and I was like, okay, I guess Sarah's not coming back. And I put the phone down and I thought, hey, she's gonna call me back like any second now to let me know what happens, you know? But she didn't call me back for like 3 hours. So I'm over here freaking out. I'm telling my mom like, okay, Sarah just screamed, dropped her phone, and I have no idea what happened. So she called me like late after dinner and she's like, I'm so sorry for leaving you hanging. The creepiest thing happened when I was down in the basement. And I was like, what happened? And she said that while she was doing her laundry, from behind her, she heard this loud rustling, like something fell over and something was sort of crawling on the ground. But when she turned around, all of the clothes that were on the hangers were like blocking her view, so she couldn't see what was behind it. And then suddenly the washing machine turned on without her touching it, so it freaked her out so much because the sound is so loud and everything that she dropped the phone and ran upstairs, and I don't think she ever went down there to do her laundry ever again. So, you know. And I hate telling stories that could potentially like scare people. Sorry. Oh wait, one more's coming. One more's coming. No, it's not. So I don't want to scare you out of doing your laundry. Like, it's gonna be fine. If you don't have a laundry machine in the basement, you're good. I'm just kidding. If you have one in the basement, it's all good. Just take someone down with you. Anyway, so guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I always enjoy telling my childhood stories because although I have a lot of creepy ones and crazy ones, they're always just funny to sort of look back on. So if you guys like me telling stories, definitely let me know down below, because I feel like sometimes when I post stories, like, I don't know if you guys like to watch them, or let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see from me, because I do like to vary things up and I want to make content that you guys like enjoy watching. I want to entertain you, you know what I mean? And also, don't worry, I'm going to be reading your sub stories very soon. I'm still looking through them, okay? There's a lot. There's like 7,000. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and I will see you in my next video. Bye! you.